This one's a pretty interesting one, Darrell, and this is for probably what I would call the Babe Ruth of our generation. And Shohei Ohtani is currently the best active athlete to wear the number 17 of all sports athletes. How do you feel about that? Are you in or are you out?
Ah,
Of all the played that wear the number 17 right now, not of all time, but of right now currently.
you know, I'm out. All right,
Okay.
so and I really had to think about this one a little bit, and the reason why I'm out, um, and we talked about this in the past, me and you, Drew. It's something about the Angels, man. It's just like the organization as a whole. There's just something wrong with that organization. But with Otani, my worry down the road for him is that they may overuse him on the pitching front. Obviously him doing that double work, it's going to take a lot out of him. He's a great player, MVP, all that good stuff. But for me, there's two names that come to mind, and they're both in the NFL, and that's Josh Allen and Devontae Adams. I mean, I would put Allen above Adams, but it's just like on a recognition front, people know of Otani, but like he's not wide known. Is he probably the best active player over? Yeah, in a lot of people's eyes. But I got to go to the person that sticks out and has shown so much in the last couple of years. I'm going with Josh Allen, man. I'm all about the Josh Allen show.
I've got to disagree. I'm all about the long ball. I'm in. Drill, I love football. Okay, I'm probably a homer for football and fantasy and all sorts of stuff we could talk about. I could talk about more football than baseball all day of the week, but I've got more passion and more love and more play for baseball as we've talked about. And the fact that we've got somebody who's multidimensional here, who can pitch and who can throw. He's not that good against the New York Yankees, but he is still a good he's still a good pitcher. Okay, he's got 22, nearly 22 scoreless innings pitched right now in the past 4 games. I think he threw a no-hitter up into 6 innings in the last game as well, and had a .38 ERA going into that game or whatnot in the 4 games of those stats. So to be able to do that, to be able to hit the long ball, to be able to play in the field, and to be able to pitch and do all this stuff in a faster paced game. It's a much different game than when even Babe Ruth played.
Right.
Football, I'm sorry, is pussified compared to what it was 20 years ago. All right. So it is not the same of what it yeah. So it's not the same of what it was before. So I like Josh Allen. I like your Devontae Adams picks, and I do like your argument there, but I'm not sold. That's why I'm going with in. I'm sticking with Shohei Ohtani on this. I gotta show love for my man who can do both parts of the game.
I love Ohtani, man. I don't want to take anything from him. We almost signed him. Seattle almost signed him, but the Angels won that war. Would love him in Seattle. He would have been a god in Seattle, especially with Ichiro. And it's just, for me, it's just something. I think how bad the team is takes away from how truly great he can be. And my point to that is, look at Mike Trout. We know Mike Trout's a multiple-time MVP, but him is just something about that organization. And I would throw Bryce Harper in there sometimes. Yeah, we know Bryce Harper is great, but what are the Phillies really doing? Right now, when I'm thinking like the baseball stud, the first person that comes to mind is Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees. They're killing it right now. I love what I see from them. But overall, if you're taking everything else out, Ohtani is the man. I mean, I know I wouldn't be able to do what my man's out there doing right now, but it's just, you got to do it on a high level and carry your team. And unfortunately, that Angels team just
Aaron Judge can't throw 101 mile an hour fastball.
No, he can't.
Ohtani can. Ohtani can. He's like Randy Johnson and Griffey put together.
What? That's saying a lot.
He's different orientation, but I like his swing though. He doesn't have as smooth of a swing as Griffey. But if you could put those two together and like morph them, that's like the closest thing I think we have with Ohtani.
I'll give you that.
Sertoba Media, where the struggle is real to be awesome.